Ever feel like two trading platforms look the same until you actually use them? That's what happened when I tested UCharts and TC2000. On the surface, they seem nearly identical, but once I actually put them to the test, one of them made me a profitable trader and exposed serious gaps in the other. But here's what shocked me the most. When I tested any new platform, I always started by digging through user reviews, and not the one pasted on the home pages. I mean like real feedback. The good, the bad, the stuff companies don't talk about. So when I ran UCharts vs TC2000 through the review test, I started with what most people skip, the one-star ratings, negative feedback, and the rants. And one TC2000 review stood out and caught my attention. One trader reviewed that the platform looked great at first, but then he realized that it doesn't actually include live data unless you upgrade to a higher priced plan. He felt frustrated because, in his words, there was nothing to chart without coughing up another 50%. Now, let's pause here. I get where he's coming from. That can catch you off guard for sure, but it's also the kind of thing that's clearly explained on TC2000's pricing page if you just scroll down. And honestly, if you're serious about trading, paying for quality real-time data is just part of the game. It's like complaining that your car doesn't drive because it doesn't come with gas. On the flip side, TC2000 has built up a reputation for being a favorite among serious traders. One trader said he's been in the markets for over 20 years and tried just about every major charting platform, but he ends up sticking with TC2000 because, in his words, it's hands down the most powerful tool in experienced hands. Another user mentioned he manages over $43 million in personal and client assets and still uses TC2000 daily. He described it as a reliable, adaptive, and far superior program to anything offered by the free brokerage platforms. Now, that's the kind of feedback that sticks with you. Meanwhile, I looked into UCharts reviews and found a few things that raised eyebrows. Some kind of UChart reviews linked to Scam Advisor, and according to them, UCharts has several red flags: negative reviews, scam-related language patterns, and concerns over data integrity. And this isn't just like a random Reddit comment. We're talking algorithmic red flags based on over 40 public data points. If a platform has legit questions surrounding trust and security, I'm backing away fast. And after reading those reviews, I knew right away which of these two platforms I'd trust with real capital. And when I started testing both platforms, this is where things got real. With TC2000 versus UCharts, the first thing I noticed is that TC2000 doesn't just do charting. It builds an entire ecosystem around your decision making. So let's start with their company fundamentals. TC2000 gives you access to nearly 70 pieces of fundamental data for US stocks. That means you can cross-reference price action with earnings per share, revenue growth, book value, and a ton more, all right inside your charts. No jumping between tabs, no looking up Yahoo Finance in another window. It's all baked in. UCharts, it offers basic visualizations. It's clean, simple, and it loads fast. But that's about it. If you want fundamentals, you'll be toggling back to TC2000. Next, EasyScan. Now, this might be my favorite part of TC2000. It lets you scan thousands of stocks in real time based on your exact filters. So I created a scan with 3 criteria: price above 200-day MA, positive EPS growth, and high relative volume. It took me 30 seconds. I found 4 setups in less than a minute. UCharts, to its credit, does allow some filtering, but it's not even close to this. There's no real-time scanning engine built in, no EasyScan, no layering of technical and fundamental filters. So if you're trying to stay ahead of a fast-moving market, UCharts simply can't keep up. And there's something subtle but powerful in TC2000. And the AND scan conditions are where it's really at. This is where you combine multiple must-have conditions into one clean logic stream. I tested it with a momentum setup that required 5-day RSI greater than 60 and MACD histogram turning positive. Most platforms force you to build this out in clunky code or stack filters in awkward ways, but TC2000 handles it naturally. Just check, check, done. Now let's talk about the true return scaling in TC2000. This is genius. You can compare the stock you're viewing to the S&P 500's volatility in real time. Not just a percentage, but actual chart scaling. You'll see how wild or tame your stock is instantly. That's huge if you're risk-focused or trying to position size properly. But with UCharts, none of that exists there. So I also tested the detrended price oscillator in TC2000. It helps estimate buy and sell points based on cycle length. If you've ever wondered when the next peak or trough might hit, DPO lays it out clean. It's like being able to measure heartbeat patterns in price action. Found it super helpful during earnings season volatility. One part most traders overlook when using TC2000 is the Worden T2 market indicators. This is where TC2000 gets nerdy, in the best way though. It doesn't just show how many stocks went up or down, it tells you how far they moved, how many broke moving averages, and how many made new highs or lows. It gives you the actual strength under the hood, not just surface level moves. UCharts? Again, it's not even trying to play in this league. Then there's brokerage integration. With TC2000, you can actually place trades directly from the charts. It uses interactive brokers as the backend, which means reliable order routing. Now, sure, you could argue that this adds some commission premium, and that's fair, but the convenience of spotting a breakout and hitting buy without switching platforms, that's worth it for active traders. On the UCharts side, it's charting. Just charting. No order placement, no integrated broker. You see the difference now, right? So to sum up the features, TC2000 feels like it was built for full-time traders. The UCharts app feels like it was built for showing pretty lines in presentations. Now, no platform is perfect, and TC2000 is no exception. If I had to nitpick, I'd say the learning curve can feel steep at first. The interface has a lot going on, especially if you're new to scanning or custom indicators. But here's what I found. Spend a little time with their tutorial videos and everything just clicks. The menus start making sense, the scans become second nature, and once you get past that initial adjustment, you realize that this complexity actually gives you more control, not less. So yeah, TC2000 asks you to learn the system, but in return, it gives you pro-level tools without needing to duct tape 5 different platforms together. And cost-wise, here's what I found comparing UCharts and TC2000. UCharts looks cheaper on the surface, but the moment you want more than basic visuals, you're hitting paywalls. And even then, it still feels too light. But TC2000, it's reasonably priced for what it offers. It might feel like a bigger investment up front, especially if you add real-time data, but if you're an active trader, it's totally worth it. Check the link in the description below to see their current pricing options. I'll try to keep it updated with their promos and discount offers. So, after putting both platforms through their paces, UCharts is fine if you just want to watch the market. But if you actually want to trade smarter, faster, and with more clarity, TC2000 is in another league. It helped me spot setups that I'd been missing and how I approach the market. It's sharper, faster, and way more powerful. Check the link in the description of this video to get started with our special discount and coupon.